Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be explaining to you guys how I got louder whine in my Camaro ZL1 and how you guys can achieve it as well. So stay tuned if you want to find out. Puppy is purring. Okay, so to start things off, the biggest question I get is how can I achieve whine in my car? First of all, you have to have forced induction, which in basic terms is forcing more air into your engine. And you do this with a supercharger or a turbocharger. And in this case, I'm gonna be going over my 2018 Camaro ZL1. It is a supercharged V8. So I'm gonna be going over the mods that I have done to basically increase that airflow and give me louder whine. Starting off with number one, the first and most simple mod you guys can do to increase the airflow in your car and get a louder whine and even make your engine bay look better is the LT4 Billet Supercharger lid. So this lid is from DSX Tuning. Clearly, this is not your basic stock supercharger lid. This one actually has been contoured on the inside to provide smoother airflow. So the more airflow, the louder whine, and also it is less noise dampening. So the stock lid has some noise dampening, what do you call it? Qualities, I guess you could say. But overall, you guys can get the lid from DSX Tuning online. I believe it is $700, but obviously the price will go up when you customize it a little more like I did. So I believe mine came out to $1,000 or $1,100. And by the way, this is not sponsored at all by DSX. They just come straight aluminum. You can get it powder coated and machined, engraved to whatever it is that you want. In my case, I did the stock look where it says supercharged LT4, and then I powder coated it illusion purple to match my car. Not only is it gonna spruce up your engine bay a bit, but you're also gonna get a louder whine, better airflow, and it is said, I believe, to increase horsepower by like 5 or 10 horsepower or something on the site. I don't know how true that is, but the nice thing is you need no tuning required. You can just install it, and this is definitely the simplest install for this project. I am listing this in simplest to install. So next, number two is going to be your cold air intake. So for my car, I have the RotoFab Big Gulp cold air intake. And not only is this going to give you a more aggressive sound, but it also increases horsepower. And this one is the 5-inch size. There are two different RotoFab intakes for the ZL1, I believe. And with this one specifically, keep it noted that you have to do a tune with this intake, but it is definitely worth it because the sound you get is insane. And it is also important to keep it noted that this intake is more for cars that are modified. This one is not going to be good for a stock or mildly modeled. This intake is not going to do well for a stock or mildly modified ZL1. It is just not going to perform good. And this is more for vehicles that are in the like 650 wheel horsepower range and up. With the intake comes the throttle body. So I say this in conjunction because you need both for this one to work. So with the Big Gulp, it is obviously bigger and it is 5 inches, and you need a 103 millimeter throttle body. So when I started this project, you guys, I had no idea that it was going to turn into what it turned into. So just be prepared. Yeah, I have the Katech 103 millimeter throttle body. I guess that is number 3 is the throttle body. Sorry guys, forgot to say that. And then continuing on with that throttle body, you can get away with just porting your supercharger snout and going the simpler way, or you can go all out and get your whole supercharger ported like I did. So moving on to number 4, for the throttle body to make sense and fit, you have to have your supercharger snout ported for the 103 millimeter throttle body to really fit, because obviously it's not going to on your stock supercharger. So number 4 is porting your supercharger. So mine has the Kong Stage X port, and I am very grateful to say that that part of this project was sponsored. So huge shout out to Kong Performance, and this really made such a big difference, you guys. Basically, the Stage X is designed to get the most power you possibly can out of your stock supercharger, and so that is what I did. I went all out and did it. Better airflow, you're gonna get more power, and the Kong Stage X, with the right modifications, I believe they say makes 40 to 80 horsepower additionally. Oh, and obviously that isn't a required tuning, but if you do this whole process, then your car is gonna need to get tuned no matter what. But anyways, porting the supercharger was definitely not something I was expecting to do, but it was kind of something I had to do once I started upgrading the intake, and then I had to do the throttle body, and then the throttle body led to the supercharger, and it was just a whole process. So if you guys are planning to get into this, then just know that you are going to be needing to do a bunch of different things. Obviously, like I said, it kept leading to more and more things. This is gonna lead to needing a low side fuel system. With all the increased airflow, you're really not gonna get any gains or see any improvements unless you do the low side fuel system. So let me explain that. With the ported blower, even with the low side, you're still not gonna have enough high side unless you have a methanol kit. So leading on to another mod that I have is a Alky 2-gallon meth tank in the back, and that is a single nozzle. So I guess, yeah, moving on to number 5. No, 5 was the low side fuel system. 6 is the meth kit. So I guess for me, the meth kit was something that I already had on the ZL1, so it made this project a little easier. This project for me led to just more and more modifications that I had to do to be able to get the car to actually like run correctly and make good power. But with everything, my car right now is making 750 wheel horsepower, which is really exciting. I am also on ethanol, but that is besides the point. This is really just to talk about how to get a louder whine in your ZL1. So overall, I'm gonna go over what I talked about. So number 1 is the Billet Supercharger lid, and you guys can do this mod without having to do any of the other mods. If you guys want to just try it out, this should help with the whine, and it's going to make the look of your car just overall better. You're going to pop the hood and people are going to look at your supercharger cover. So that is number 1, Billet Supercharger lid. Number 2 is the intake. So for you guys that are not wanting to spend all of this money and do all these modifications, you can just go with the RotoFab cold air intake, not the big Gulp. And with that one, you do not have to tune your car, and it's gonna give you aggressive sound without having to do anything. So you're not gonna have to change your throttle body, you're not gonna have to pour your supercharger. If you guys are looking for something more simpler, then I would definitely go with just the original RotoFab cold air intake. And yet again, that is such an easy install you guys can do. It really takes no time at all. I believe I have a video up on my YouTube on the install of all of these things actually, so if you guys wanna go check that out, I'll put that up here. But anyways, that is a lot, I know. Like I said, when I started this project, I had no idea it was going to turn into all of these different things I needed, but I have learned my lesson, and you definitely need to think about the parts you buy before you buy them, because I started out, honestly, you guys, I think I started out just buying the intake, yeah. And nope, just did not work out well. I had to do all these other things to make it work. So I guess so you guys aren't out of the loop, I'm gonna go over the other modifications I have in my car. So it is full bolt-on. So with all of those things that I talked about, I have an upper pulley, and then I have headers. And I think those are the only other things that I didn't talk about. Upper pulley, headers. I have a supercharger expansion tank on there. Oil catch can, basic things. But overall, that is about it. So now you guys have the full list of what I have done to the car to get a better idea. I think that about wraps it up. Look at him with the flip-flops. I guess that's a wrap, and if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop a comment down below, and of course please subscribe to the channel for more videos. That's a wrap. Bye. Phone is right here. Oh my gosh. Okay. to give you a little exhaust ASMR. Well, so this is definitely not what I had envisioned. It has been raining this whole week and I've been trying to film, and every day is just not working with me, but we're just gonna roll with it and film in the rain.